Hello and welcome to the Mushroom Murder Trial podcast. My name is Lisa and I am a podcaster and journalist. Most weekdays we deliver detailed coverage of one of Australia's most closely watched legal dramas, Erin Patterson's murder trial. Now, a quick reminder, before we launch into today's update, head to my website, mushroommurdertrial.com, to subscribe for my newsletter. Now, it's free. So if you haven't yet, please get on there because I'm going to be releasing a whole lot of material later on. I don't want you to miss out. So make sure you're on that list. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this podcast on your preferred platform so you never miss an episode. Now, it looks like we still have a few weeks to go in the so-called mushroom murder trial. There's no definitive date, but the judge told the jury today that trial may still have some time to go. Anyway, moving right along, accused triple murderer Erin Patterson was today facing cross-examination in the Supreme Court of Victoria in Morwell. Crown Prosecutor Dr. Nanette Rogers SC was cross-examining Ms Patterson for most of the day, and the prosecutor launched straight into her questions. She put to the mother of two, who, by the way, as we know, has pled not guilty to all charges. She put to the mother of two that she lied to police about owning a dehydrator, that she lied about dehydrating food, and about foraging for mushrooms. Ms Patterson admitted it. Yes, she did lie. Now, the prosecutor refers to Ms Patterson's police interview, and she says, okay, can we go to question 264? No, okay. Do you own a dehydrator? Answer, no. Response, all right, okay. Were those lies? Said the prosecutor. Yes, said Ms Patterson. And why did you tell the police those lies on 5th of August? Well, I had disposed of it a few days earlier in the context of thinking that maybe mushrooms that I'd foraged or the meal that I prepared was responsible for making people sick. And then, on the Saturday, Detective Eppingstall told me that Gail and Heather had passed away. And it was this stupid knee-jerk reaction to just digging deeper and keep lying. I was just scared, but I shouldn't have done it. All right, says the prosecutor. In relation to foraging mushrooms, you were asked questions in the record of interview, question 159 on page 8. Question, okay, is that something you've done in the past, foraging for mushrooms? And your answer was never. And then question was, or anything like that, never. And your answer was never. That a lie too? Yes, they were both lies. And was that lie told for the same reasons? Yes. Dr. Rogers then moved on to a series of exhibits. There were photos found on Ms Patterson's tablet of mushrooms and a dehydrator, an invoice showing that she'd bought the dehydrator on April 28, 2023, and more photos of her disposing of the device at the local tip on August 2. Dr. Rogers said, quote, you rushed out to get rid of the evidence. You lied to the police because you knew you'd use the dehydrator. Ms Patterson replies, no, I didn't know that. Dr. Rogers presses again. You knew if you told police it would implicate you in the deliberate poisoning. And Ms Patterson stands firm. No, it's not correct. And then the state moved on to the disposal of the dehydrator the day after the accused left hospital. You took the dehydrator to the transfer station because you'd been using it to dehydrate mushrooms, hadn't you? Erin replies, yes. And not just any old mushrooms, death cap mushrooms, in fact, correct? I didn't know that I'd done that. And you knew that there were death cap mushrooms that you had been dehydrating, correct? No, I didn't know that. And you were very keen to dispose of any evidence that might connect you with the possession of death cap mushrooms. No. I didn't know they'd been in it. That's why you rushed out the day after your release from Monash to get rid of the evidence, correct, Ms Patterson? No. Prosecutor, you lied to police about never owning a dehydrator because you knew you'd used a dehydrator to prepare death cap mushrooms to include in the lunch. Answer, no, I did not do that. Prosecutor, you lied because you knew if you told the police the truth, it would implicate you in the deliberate poisoning of your 4 lunch guests, correct? No, it's not true. From the witness box, Erin Patterson also tells the court she did not tell her Facebook friends she was an atheist. She denies being especially close to Christine Hunt, a previous witness, and she denies using emojis to mock the Pattersons, her in-laws, as they prayed for her. In addition, Ms Patterson also rejects telling her lunch guests that she had cancer, a claim that directly contradicts the earlier testimony of the lunch's sole survivor, Ian Wilkinson. Quote, this is the prosecutor. So to sum up in relation to your so-called cancer diagnosis, your claim to various people that you'd been diagnosed with cancer before the lunch was deliberately false, yes or no? Ms Patterson, I didn't make that claim, Ms Patterson said. Dr. Rogers says the Leongatha woman told this lie to create a pretense for the lunch and to explain why her children would not be present. Erin rejected these propositions. Quote, I suggest that you never thought you'd have to account for this lie of having cancer because you thought the lunch guests would die and your lie would never be found out, Dr. Rogers said. That is not true. So that's what I've got for you today. I'll be back in the morning with a bit more of the transcript because so much news. It's a lot to take in. So thank you for listening. For more information, visit my website, mushroommurdertrial.com. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter and make sure you get in line for the new content that I have that will be coming out. Plus, I'm on the socials, well, most of them, except I'm not on TikTok because it frightens me, quite frankly. But I'm on the rest of them, and you'll find the links in the show notes. And if you're feeling like rewarding me for the hours that I've spent on this work, I have a Buy Me a Coffee membership, which allows you to pay $5 as a thanks. And I get a coffee, but only if you want to, only if you can afford it. And you should sign up for the newsletter. I mean it, because it's free. It's another bonus. Plus, there's exclusive membership material on the site for the Buy Me a Coffee people. And I love them. I love you all, actually. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much. And tomorrow, another day of cross-examination in court. Thank you so much for your time and for listening. And I will be back very, very soon. Bye.